Imagine a relentless seeker of glory, a man whose insatiable thirst for conquest eclipsed all else. Alexander the Great, his name echoing through the accounts of history, cared for only one thing: conquering the world. He hurled his armies into the face of battle, unburdened by the fear of defeat, as if he were a god who was gifted to never lose. In the year 336 BC, the young and ambitious Alexander ascended to the throne of Macedon, following in the formidable footsteps of his father, Philip II. He swiftly expanded his dominion over Greece and then set his sights on the vast riches of Asia. A decade of ceaseless victories graced his path, but the glory did not satisfy him. His loyal men, battle-worn, tired and craving for a break, longed to return home and enjoy the treasures they had won. But for their king, riches were not enough, and his sole passion was conquest. Victorious battles against the Persians saw him extend his rule over their sprawling territories. But it was what lay beyond, in the fabled land of India, that truly captured his imagination. However, little did he know, where this unquenchable thirst for glory was taking him next would be the beginning of his end. As he embarked on his Indian adventure in 327 BC, Alexander was driven by the tales of India's fabled prosperity and riches. But the journey was not easy. The journey was fraught with challenges, as he clashed with local kingdoms on his way to the northwestern reaches of the subcontinent. But Alexander, with his experience and tired but hardened warriors, laid waste to the smaller kingdoms in the region easily, eventually crossing the Sindhu River to take a break in Takshila and strategize his next moves. It was here that he encountered Porus, the formidable 8-foot-tall, fierce and mighty ruler of Keiki. Porus stood as the mightiest power in the northwest, and his valor challenged even the unbeatable spirit of Alexander. This battle, fought on the banks of the Jhelum River in 326 BC, would come to be known as the Battle of the Hydaspes, a paradoxical and momentous event in Indian history and Alexander's life. However, interpretations of this battle are fraught with contention. Some Western historians, eager to praise Alexander, paint a picture of Greek victory and Porus's surrender. Yet, the words of ancient Greek writers tell a different tale. They describe it as Alexander's most grueling trial. There was no lavish celebration after earlier triumphs against the Persians or in other major battles. Only after this encounter with Porus did the Macedonian army rejoice. Why? Because winning such a tough battle was indeed a cause of celebration. Alexander, impressed by Porus's valor, restored his kingdom along with Ambi's territories, a decision that baffles logic. Why reward the very adversary who had inflicted heavy casualties upon the Macedonians? The answer lies in the realization that Porus and his troops displayed extraordinary bravery that gave pause to Alexander's men. Facing impending defeat, both sides called for a truce, a pact in which Porus pledged his support for the Macedonians in exchange for getting back his territories. Along with this, Alexander's retreat from India was prompted by his exhausted and tired troops, who had been fighting for years. They realized if this one battle was so ferocious, climbing deep into the Indian territories would prove to be deadly for them. They begged their king to go back. Ultimately, Alexander's campaign in India was not the resounding success that his other conquests were. It exacted a heavy toll on the lives of his army men and tarnished his legacy, yielding meager territorial gains and negligible impact on Indian culture or society. Report suggests that he met his demise shortly after his return from India, possibly succumbing to wounds sustained in the battles. India, for all its allure, proved to be a treacherous battleground that marred his reputation and cast a veil of enigma over his final days.